A cup of palm wine slipped slightly in her hands as all eyes turned to the elderly woman seated in the center. Amara held her breath. The entire compound had gone quiet. This was the moment every bride waited for, the blessing. Mama Obina stared at the cup, then slowly pushed it away.
Mama,
I will not drink this.
Why are you doing this?
A ripple of whispers spread like fire. Amara's fingers trembled, but she forced a small smile. Her heart was pounding so loudly she could barely hear anything else. Is there a problem, Mama? Someone asked. Mama Obina's eyes never left Amara. Some things are not done in a hurry, she said coldly. In that moment, Amara understood something no one had told her. This marriage would not be peaceful. If you've ever seen a moment that changed everything, you already know how this story feels. Stay with it, because what happened next, nobody saw coming. Obina reached for her hand gently. Ignore her, he whispered. She will come around. Amara nodded, but deep down, something had already shifted. After the wedding, things did not get better. They got worse. The first morning in her new home, Amara woke up early, tied her wrapper neatly, and went straight to the kitchen. She wanted to make a good impression. Mama, good morning, she said softly. Mama Obina didn't even turn. I thought I could help with breakfast. Did anyone ask you to? The older woman replied sharply. Amara froze. No. I just thought. In this house, we don't think. We follow order. The words hit harder than a slap. Later that day, Obina tried to lighten the mood. She's just like that. Don't take it personal. But she refused to bless our marriage, Amara said quietly. Obina sighed. She wanted someone else for me. She will get over it. Someone else? Amara asked, her voice tightening slightly. Before he could answer, a voice rang from the gate. Obina. They both turned. A woman walked in like she belonged there. Confident. Smiling. Familiar. Chioma, Mama Obina called warmly from inside. You're here. Amara noticed the difference immediately. The same woman who barely acknowledged her presence was now standing up to welcome someone else. Chioma hugged Mama Obina tightly. I missed you, Mama. I told you to come earlier, Mama Obina said, smiling. Amara stood there, watching. Obina shifted uncomfortably. Amara, this is Chioma. Chioma turned, her smile polite but measured. Oh, so this is the wife. There was something in her tone. Something Amara couldn't quite place. Yes, Amara replied calmly. I'm Amara. Chioma nodded slowly. I've heard a lot about you. Amara held her gaze. I hope it was good. Chioma smiled again, but this time, it didn't reach her eyes. Of course. But even as she said it, Mama Obina laughed lightly. Good or not, time will tell. And just like that, Amara realized something else. She wasn't just unwelcome. She was being watched, judged, and quietly replaced. From that day, Chioma became a constant presence in the house. At first, Amara tried to ignore it. She's just a family friend, Obina said one evening, loosening his tie as he sat on the bed. You're overthinking things. Amara looked at him. Family friend that comes every day. Obina hesitated. She's close to my mother. That much is obvious, Amara replied quietly. The next morning, Amara went into the kitchen again, determined not to give up. She was stirring a pot of soup when Mama Obina walked in. What are you cooking? Egusi soup, Mama. Mama Obina scoffed. We don't cook it like that here. Amara paused. I followed the usual recipe. Before she could finish, Chioma walked in. Mama, good morning, she said brightly. Mama Obina's face lit up immediately. "Oh, my daughter, come and see what your friend is doing." Chioma stepped closer, peered into the pot, then laughed softly. "Amara, is this how you people cook in your place?" The words were light, but sharp. Amara felt her chest tighten. "It's how I was taught." Chioma shook her head playfully. "Mama, don't worry. I'll fix it." And just like that, the spoon was taken from her hand. Amara stood there, watching as Chioma moved freely around the kitchen, like she belonged there. That night, Amara spoke again. "Obinna, I don't feel comfortable." "With what?" he asked, scrolling through his phone. "With her. With everything. Your mother doesn't even try to hide it." Obinna sighed. "What do you want me to do?" "Send her away. I want you to see what's happening." "I am seeing it," he snapped. "And what I see is my wife creating problems where there are none." The words landed heavily. Amara said nothing. But something inside her cracked. Days turned into weeks. Then things started to go missing. First, it was her gold earrings. She searched everywhere. "Maybe you misplaced them," Obinna said. "I didn't." A few days later, money went missing from the living room table. Mama Obinna's voice echoed through the house. "In this house, we don't steal." Amara stepped forward. "I didn't take anything." No one accused her directly. But the silence said everything. Then came the whispers. "I told you, something is not right about her. She came from nowhere. She trapped him." Amara began to notice how conversation stopped when she entered a room. How eyes followed her. How even Obinna started looking at her differently. One evening, she walked into her room and froze. Her suitcase was open. Clothes scattered. Her heart started racing. "Who touched my things?" she called out. No answer. She stepped closer, slowly. Then she saw it. A small piece of cloth, tied tightly with red thread, sitting neatly inside her bag. Amara's breath caught in her throat. "No, no." Her hands shook as she picked it up. "What is this doing here?" Her voice trembled as she rushed out. "Obinna. Obinna." He came out, irritated. "What is it?" She held it up. "I found this in my bag." He frowned. And you don't see anything wrong with it?" Before he could respond, Mama Obinna appeared. "What is the noise about?" Amara turned to her. "Mama, I found this in my room." Mama Obinna's eyes narrowed immediately. "Where exactly?" "In my bag." Silence. Then slowly, Mama Obinna laughed. A cold, knowing laugh. "I knew it." Amara's heart dropped. "Knew what?" Mama Obinna stepped closer. "That you are not who you pretend to be." And behind her, Chioma stood quietly. Watching. Waiting. Smiling. "I knew it," Mama Obinna repeated, her voice rising. "From the very first day, I knew there was something wrong with you." Amara shook her head quickly. "No, Mama, I don't know how that got there." "I swear." "Swear." Mama Obinna snapped. "You think this is a joke? You think we don't know what this means?" Obinna looked from his mother to the cloth in Amara's hand. His face tightened. "Amara, what is that?" "I don't know," she cried. "I've never seen it before." Chioma stepped forward slowly, her tone soft, almost concerned. "Mama, let's calm down. Maybe it's a misunderstanding." But the slight curve of her lips told a different story. Mama Obinna pointed at Amara. "Misunderstanding. These are the things people use. And you brought it into my son's house." Amara felt her chest tighten. "I didn't bring anything. Somebody put it there." "Who?" Mama Obinna challenged. Amora's eyes flickered, just for a second, toward Chioma. Chioma gasped lightly. Me? Amara, why would you even think that? I didn't say. But you looked at me. Chioma cut in, her voice shaking just enough to sound hurt. Mama, you see. This is what I was trying to say. She's trying to turn us against each other. Obinna ran a hand over his face. This is getting out of hand. Amara turned to him desperately. You believe me, right? You know I wouldn't do something like this. He hesitated. That hesitation said everything. Obinna, her voice broke. I don't know what to believe anymore, he said quietly. It felt like the ground disappeared beneath her feet. From that day, everything changed. Nobody said it out loud, but the label had already been placed. Witch. Manipulator. Dangerous. Amara stopped going to the kitchen. Stopped sitting in the living room. Even when she walked past, conversations would stop instantly. One afternoon, she overheard Mama Obinna speaking to a visitor. I warned him. But he didn't listen. Now see what he has brought into this house. Amara stood behind the wall, her eyes filling with tears. Later that night, she tried one last time. Obinna, please, talk to me. He didn't look up from his phone. I'm tired, Amara. I'm your wife. You can't just ignore me like this. He sighed. Then explain that thing in your bag. I've been trying to explain. And I've been trying to understand, he snapped. But everything about this doesn't make sense. Because it's not mine. Then whose is it? He asked, his voice rising. Amara fell silent. She didn't have an answer. And that silence pushed him further away. Days later, Chioma returned again, but this time, something was different. She walked in slowly, her face serious. Mama. I need to tell you something. Mama Obinna immediately stood up. What is it, my daughter? Chioma placed a hand on her stomach. I'm pregnant. The room went still. What? Mama Obinna whispered. Chioma nodded, her eyes filling with tears. It's Obinna's. Amara felt like the air had been knocked out of her lungs. No, that's not possible, she whispered. Mama Obinna let out a cry of joy. My son. My lineage. She pulled Chioma into a tight embrace. My daughter. My real daughter. Amara's legs felt weak. She turned slowly to Obinna. He looked shocked, confused, but he didn't deny it. Obinna, her voice trembled. He couldn't meet her eyes. That was all the answer she needed. And in that moment, Amara realized. She had lost everything. Amara stood frozen as the celebration filled the room around her. Mama Obinna was already calling relatives. Yes. My son has done well. A child is coming. Chioma sat quietly now, wiping fake tears from her face, while Obinna remained seated like a man trapped inside a storm he didn't understand. Amara finally spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. So this is it. No one answered her. She took a step forward. Obinna, say something. He exhaled slowly. Amara. I didn't plan for this. That's not what I asked you. He looked away. And that silence destroyed her more than any accusation ever had. Mama Obinna turned sharply. You see. This is what I warned you about. A woman who cannot even accept joy in her husband's life. Amara laughed once, empty, broken. Joy. You call this joy? Chioma stood slowly, placing a hand on her stomach. I never wanted problems. I only told the truth. Amara turned to her instantly. Truth. You just walked in here and claimed my husband is the father of your child. Chioma's voice softened. Are you saying he isn't? The room went silent again. Obina's face tightened. Chioma, are you sure? She nodded quickly. Of course I'm sure. But something flickered in her eyes. Just for a second. Amara saw it. And for the first time, hope sparked inside her again. But it was quickly crushed. Mama Obina stepped forward. Enough. This child will be celebrated. Whether anyone likes it or not. Amara shook her head slowly. You don't even care if it's true or not. I care about my family's future, Mama Obina replied coldly. Amara turned to Obina one last time. So what happens to me? He swallowed hard. I don't know. That was the final blow. Amara nodded slowly, as if something inside her had finally gone quiet. She walked out of the room without another word. Days passed. Then weeks. Amara stopped fighting completely. She stopped arguing. She stopped explaining. But something else began instead. Silence. And prayer. One night, she knelt beside her bed, tears falling quietly. If I am innocent, she whispered, then let truth speak for me. Because I am tired. Outside, life continued as if she didn't exist. Chioma became more confident in the house. Mama Obina treated her like royalty. And Obina grew more distant by the day. Until the night everything collapsed. Chioma went into labor earlier than expected. Panic filled the house as they rushed her to the hospital. Mama Obina held her hand proudly. Stay strong, my daughter. Obina followed silently, conflicted. Amara was not called. She wasn't even mentioned. Hours later, a doctor stepped out of the room, his expression serious. Who is the father of the child? Obina stepped forward slowly. I am. The doctor hesitated. Then he said the words that shattered everything. This child does not match your blood type. Silence. Then chaos. What are you saying? Mama Obina shouted. The doctor repeated it calmly. He is not the father. Chioma's face changed instantly. No, that's not possible. Obina stepped back. Chioma, tell me the truth. Tears filled her eyes, but not the kind they expected. The truth began to spill. The lies. The setup. Even the cloth in Amara's bag. Mama Obina froze as everything unraveled. And for the first time, she looked afraid. Back at home, Amara sat alone. Then her phone rang. Obina's voice came through, broken. Amara, come to the hospital. A pause. It's over. And in that moment, everything changed.